He said his mother was a witch, a white witch. And when she died screaming. And he heard her as she was being dragged into hell, and she was screaming those words. All right, my guest is Jessica. Jessica, we talked about this crossing over when people die, when they pass on, and you're there many times with many people as they passed on. You've heard people calling out as they died. They call out to someone. Someone said, as they died, as they passed on, they said, "Mama, I'm coming. Mama, don't go." Is that right?
That is correct.
Who are they talking to?
I believe that this woman was talking to her mom. I believe that for sure.
Okay.
I mean, that happens a lot. And that doesn't even have to be in the turn of events of death. That can be the day before or the week before. I'm a firm believer that they see somebody to recognize them to help them bring them over.
Okay. All right. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to bring Mike Spaulding on a little bit later. We're going to talk about that and get some get some conversation going from Scripture, because I would like to know. Okay. There is a parable in the Bible that talks about angels bringing someone over that great divide. And I want to talk about that a little bit and find out what that means. But Jessica, you've been there. I mean, you've heard people call out names. It's not like, some preacher getting in a pulpit saying, "Oh, this," and you're a first responder. Okay. So I'm not at all negating or belittling anything that you're telling me, because my ears are open. Now, if people are calling out for someone to bring them over, what happens if they're not going to heaven? I mean, what if this person that's bringing them over, they're going to hell? Have you ever heard anybody scream out, "I don't want to go"?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, so what can you remember what they said? I mean,
It's usually when they're in their bed and at night, like they'll spurt some random stuff off. I mean, there is one where I think they might have saw their kid or they saw some family member because they were like, "Wow, you're so big," like. So I'm not kidding. Like we hear these things all the time,
yes.
David. This
Uh,
is not new.
Okay, yeah, no, I believe you. But again, and I had a guest on Monte about a year ago, and he said his mother was a witch, a white witch. She would not accept Christ. She was a witch. And when she died screaming. And he heard her as she was, I mean, I'm using his words, these are not mine, as he believed she was being dragged into hell, and she was screaming those words, "They're dragging me into hell." I'm paraphrasing. Idiopathic therapy. Um, Idiopathic therapy. What is that?
It is an unknown cause for a reason for a patient to have either a disease or something that happened.
Okay.
So if they end up getting some disease and the doctors can't pinpoint how they got it, they would say idiopathic.
Okay. All right. And if there's a cure, if there's some miracle, would they say it's idiopathic?
Yes,
Okay. So idiopathic is something they can't explain, right?
exactly.
Okay. Jessica, do doctors and the medical professionals really know as much as we give them credit for? I mean, they don't call it practice for nothing. This is my practice. Do they really, are we giving them too much credit?
I mean, for the most part, we go by what the book says and what your anatomy, how your science is, human sciences. But there are some things that happen that we even the textbook says that wouldn't have happened. So I think in some cases the doctors and the healthcare professionals are healers. That's what we're meant to
Yeah.
do, is we're meant to heal. And
Right.
I believe sometimes that comes from a higher power for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So let's start with the higher power. Let's start with God, miracles. Okay.
Yeah.
This is what they would call idiopathic therapy. They wouldn't call it God's miracles. They call it
Some,
idiopathic therapy.
well,
Idiopathic.
yeah,
It
that's
sounds
true.
like it
I
sounds
know.
like it sounds like an insult. You know.
I
Uh,
know.
I,
But there's no book knowledge. So when you're in medical school, David, you have a reason for everything. There's a connect the dots,
right. Right.
right? And
Right.
so if you can't connect the dots, we don't know. So it's idiopathic.
Gotcha. So what about getting a disease? I've had people get disease and die. Um, and in matter of fact, I remember their doctors saying there's no reason this person should have gotten this. It's not explainable. They're not of that in that category. They're not susceptible, but they get it. And I understand, Jessica, that our bodies are they're very intricate, and sometimes you can't explain things. But do you believe sometimes these things, these diseases we get, they come from demonic sources? That maybe it's negativity. It's maybe someone has thrown a curse on us. Maybe it's a spiritual thing. Do you believe that?
Well, I believe in mind over matter for sure. So if your mind's getting taken over by a demonic, then yeah, you could probably
Oh,
lead in that direction.
okay. So if your mind's being taken over by a demon, whether it's even negative thoughts or you're doing drugs or alcohol, whatever, but not even that, if your thought process is demonic, that your thought process, your mind will affect your body. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Wow. So you believe a person could actually get a disease just by a thought process, just by negative thinking or being around negativity?
Yes.
Have you experienced that before?
Patients that are on depression, they're, they feel like they're going to die, and then eventually maybe they do because they keep thinking that they're severely depressed.
Right.
That definitely can challenge for
Right.
sure.
Right.
Have you
Look,
ever like thought, okay, my knee hurts? Your knee's
uh-huh.
not hurting, but if you say my knee hurts so many times, you're going to feel your knee hurt. It's
Interesting.
it's just going
Wow.
to happen.
So that's what you mean by mind over matter, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Let's talk about life support, life support machines, life support. Um, you told me that you've been in charge of having to turn off the life support on somebody. Um, and when you do, something happens. What happens when you turn off a life support system to a
Uh,
person?
the person goes 100% dead weight.
Okay.
All of the circulation is not circulated anymore, and it ends up pooling in your extremities or wherever that blood was present at that time,
Okay.
and it just starts to be heavy. So if you're holding on to a patient's hand
Yeah.
and then they die, the hand just gets really heavy.
Okay. I've had people tell me that when they've seen people die, they've even held their hand, they've actually felt, I don't want to say seen their spirit, but they've sensed something leaving their body. I don't want to get a horror movie-ish. I want to stay, you know, uh, I got to watch my words. But have you ever felt the presence of someone leaving, possibly the spirit leaving their body when a person has passed on?
Yeah, not many, but yeah, I have.
Okay.
Mhm.
When someone you turn off a life support system, first of all, what is that system doing? Is it keeping their brain alive, their heart pumping? What's it do? Because they must be dead, but that system keeps them alive. What's it actually doing?
So it's called mechanical ventilation,
Okay.
and it is giving you oxygen to keep your lungs inflated. So when you have oxygen, your heart works and your brain works. If you don't have oxygen, everything
Uh,
doesn't work.
Okay, but are you really alive? Now, I know medically, I know doctors will say yes because you technically are. But listen, if it wasn't for that system, you wouldn't be doing that. 'Cause is it possible that maybe the person's spirit left their body before, and then the medical profession just kept the body pumping and the spirit's not there anymore? I mean, I know I'm laying a lot on you, Jessica, and but I'm talking to you because I'm thinking these things myself, and you can just give me your, look. No one's deeming you as a professor of you didn't graduate from seminary or whatever. And I'm glad you didn't, because then you really wouldn't know what you're talking about. But you know what I'm saying? In other words, they should have died, but man decided to keep the heart pumping and keep the brain going. Are they still really alive before you flip that switch and cut off that unit, that life support unit?
No, they're
They're
dead.
not. They're dead.
They're dead. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So let me draw a picture and you tell me if I'm drawing the right picture. This is hypothetical.
Hmm.
Uh, John, 40 years old, car wreck, brain dead, rush him in. His brain's not functioning, but they're keeping his heart going and they're putting him on this machine. Okay, that's midnight. And now he's been on it for a week. He's just laying there in a coma. The machine's keeping his, whatever it is, whatever you said, bodily functions going. And then finally, you flip the switch a week after that car wreck. Are you telling me it's really possible that he died that night? His spirit left his body at that car wreck, but man just kept his body going?
Yeah. And honestly, majority of the patients that are in what we call an LTAC,
Uh-huh.
that are just bound by tubing and eats and drinks and lives by tubing,
Right.
they're not there.
They're not there.
No, but like their body and their organs are working, but if their brain's not working, which we do.
Right.
So what happens, David, is when you're not there anymore, you
Yeah.
neuro breathe. So you're basically breathing neurally. So
You're bringing what?
you're you are breathing neurally. So it's called
Neurally.
neuro breathing.
Okay.
So you can tell the difference between a patient who is breathing,
Right.
because we give them a breath,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And if we're giving them 16 breaths per minute and they're
Yeah.
taking 18, that means that they're breathing 2 over. So you know that they're doing some controlling of their own breathing. If they are
Right.
not, well, there could be several reasons. One, they're not there. Two, the medication. Or three, they are neuro breathing. And if they're neuro breathing, then they're hopefully going to be a donor and they can
Right.
give their organs away, because if their brain's not there, they're not there.
Yeah. So how do you think God looks upon that? In other words, it's time for the person to go. The person did go spiritually, but man deems to keep this body going. How do you think God looks at that?
I think ultimately he gets what he needs. God gets what is asked for. Like everybody has a time, right?
Yeah.
So we'll try, but ultimately God's going to take over, and He's
Yeah.
going to take. So
Right.
it's just the process of elongating.
Right.
Um,
So
but that's what we're taught to do.
yeah, but I'm just going to ask
You
you
know,
that. Why? Why are we doing that? Why, if there's no hope, why is the medical community keeping people alive? Is it money? Well, I mean, is a facade of, hey, they have a chance, one in a gazillion of coming back from the dead? I mean, what's the reason for this, really?
family, power of attorney, paperwork, do
Okay.
not resuscitate. Like those are legality issues
Yeah.
and every healthcare they take an oath.
Okay.
We
Gotcha.
do everything that we possibly can for that patient,
Yeah.
because even if their brain's not there, David,
Yeah.
we need donors.
Right. Right. Now,
You know,
their brain's not there. Is there a chance, Jessica, that they could come back? Have you ever seen anybody on life support that was basically dead, but the machine's keeping them alive, that they actually did come back? Ever? One time?
yeah.
Ever? You
Oh
did?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
The patient was on the vent, which we call basically the vent's doing everything for them.
Okay.
So we called it and we
Yep.
took it out, and then they started breathing.
Okay. All
Oh
right.
yeah.
So,
Mhm.
okay. So if there's one out of 100,000 that the miracle happens, then I would say it's probably worth it.
In these last days, there will be perilous times. People will worship false gods, lying signs and wonders. Bibles will be taken out of schools. As the Antichrist arises, Christians will be persecuted. But now, God's people have awakened. David Heavener Investigates is proud to bring you End Times Investigations, a new DVD series containing over 8 hours of interviews, commentaries, and teaching on Illuminati and the New World Order, Satanism, miracles and healings, the Antichrist, and one world religion. David interviews some of the top experts in their field.
Hi, I'm David Heavener, and I'm proud to bring you this brand new DVD collection, End Times Investigations.
David reveals how the media is working hand in hand with the Antichrist system. Order now and receive this special DVD collection. Equip yourself and your family. Text BONUS to 41444 or davidheavener.tv/order. Call toll free 844-806-0006. Text BONUS to 41444 or davidheavener.tv/order. Call toll free 844-806-0006.